lock. Only those with a swipe card could get out. I looked in the adjoining restroom. Nothing. Feeling stupid, I looked in the clothes cabinet. Nothing. I got on hands and knees, the carpet feeling rough under my palms, and looked under the bed. The patient was lying under the bed. "Hello?" I said. No response. His eyes were closed. How could he have possibly ended up moving? Without thinking about it, I shuffled sideways, halfway under the bed, and used one hand to slowly drag the man out. He was still unconscious. The wires were still attached to his head, but had been unplugged at the other end, from the recording machine, so they trailed, long, unattached wires like dreadlocks from his head. Heaving and panting, I somehow managed to get his dead weight back into bed. I then set about plugging everything back into where it should be, and then covered him with the blanket again. I went back into the monitoring room. The signal was back and recording. The signal indicated that he was indeed still comatose. How had he managed to get out of bed? Only one way to find out: the video. Visual evidence. With that, we'd know exactly what happened. So I clicked rewind on the video feed. The past hour was just a blank, dead screen. I felt winded. I sat down on my chair heavily. There must be some rational explanation for this. I went to the door that opened into the corridor, and I closed it. It locks automatically, so only I can open it to get out with my card, just to be safe. I also thought it might be a good idea to check in with security services to help, just so there's someone else around. I picked up the office phone, and there was no dial tone. Never mind. I took my mobile from my pocket. No signal. Odd. I tried changing position, etc., but it was no use. I went on to my email to message a colleague to see if I could ask them to ring security for me. This email could not be sent. Please check your connection and try again. The internet connection was definitely still there. I loaded a YouTube video. It was playing fine. I got to my feet to check the EEG screen again. Brainwave activity was as before, comatose. But his chin muscle signal was active. It meant that his mouth was moving. The infrared camera image was too grainy to tell, so I glanced at the window into his room. Indeed, his mouth was wide open, his chest muscles straining. He was screaming, unrelentingly. But his brain signals, he was still in a coma. Before I could mentally process this, the patient sat upright in bed. Here's the thing. There was no activity in his brain areas that should control his movement or muscles to move. These regions of the brain were inactive. By the look of the signal, his brain wasn't actually controlling his movements. So what the hell was controlling them? Maybe there was something wrong with the signal. Maybe there was an error with the recording equipment. I ran into the door, which I'd closed just a few minutes ago. It wouldn't open. I tried swiping my card. It wouldn't open. No beep. Nothing. Neither was I able to turn on the light. Somehow nothing was working. There was a pane of frosted glass at the side of the door. I knew I had to get in there to the patient, so I planned to smash it and squeeze through. I lifted the chair above my head and steadied myself, planting my feet firmly, and got ready to swing. That was until someone pushed me. Someone shoved me forcefully away from the door. I toppled over, the chair falling from my grip, onto me in a confused, tumultuous movement where I couldn't tell where my head was in relation to my feet and the floor. I managed to untangle myself, pushing the chair off me, not thinking about the malicious force that had thrown me onto the floor. The recording computer monitors went dark. The EEG signals and the camera feed screens, both, just pop, and they were gone. I was plunged into greater darkness. I ran